Najam Aziz Sethi is the 16th and former Chief Minister of Punjab. He is an award-winning yet controversial Pakistani journalist, editor, and media personality, the editor-in-chief of the Friday Times, a Lahore-based political weekly, and previously the editor of the Daily Times and Daily Aaajkal newspapers. He also has a current affairs program on Geo TV called Aapas ki Baat and owns Vanguard Books, a publishing house and chain of bookstores. In 1999, he was arrested by Inter-Services Intelligence following an interview with the British Broadcasting Corporation on government corruption, and detained for almost a month. Sethi won the 1999 International Press Freedom Award of the US-based Committee to Protect Journalists and the 2009 World Association of Newspapers Golden Pen of Freedom Award. On March 26, 2013, his name was approved for the interim position of the Chief Minister of Punjab as a result of consensus between members of the selection committee comprising individuals from both the governing and the opposing political parties. He took the oath on March 27. Background: after the loss of East Pakistan in 1971, the populist PPP had formed a new elected government at the centre, whereas the leftist NAP was heading the provincial government in Balochistan. In 1973, the PPP regime accused NAP of fostering a separatist movement in Balochistan and dismissed it. In reaction, hordes of Baloch tribesmen picked up arms and triggered a full-fledged guerrilla war with the Pakistan Army. About 5 members of the London Club decided to quit their studies in London, travel back to Pakistan and join the insurgency on the Baloch nationalist side. They were all between the ages of 21 and 25, came from well-off families and, what's more, none of them was Baloch. In fact, they were all from Punjab. They included Najam Sethi, Ahmed Rashid and Asad Rehman and Dalip Das when the PPP regime was toppled in a reactionary military coup in 1977. Dalip Das and Najam Sethi were arrested. Asad Rehman, Ahmed Rashid and Dalip Das were the 3 who escaped into the mountains to join the Baloch tribesmen, whereas Najam Sethi and Rashid Rehman stationed themselves in Karachi to raise funds and awareness about the Baloch cause. According to Sethi, he first conceived of the idea for an independent Pakistani newspaper out of frustration. While briefly imprisoned in 1984 on trumped-up copyright charges, no newspapers had protested his arrest. The following year, he and Musin applied for a publishing license under Musin's name, since Sethi was too notorious an offender to be approved. Called into Nawaz Sharif's office to discuss the application, Musin told him that she intended to publish a social chit-chat thing, with lots of pictures of parties and weddings. It was finally approved in 1987, but Musin requested a 1-year delay to avoid the first issue coming out during the dictatorship of General Zia-ul-Haq. The paper's first issue appeared in May 1989. 1999 arrest: in early 1999, Sethi gave an interview to a team for the British Broadcasting Corporation television show Correspondent, which was planning to report on corruption in the Nawaz Sharif government. At the beginning of May, he warned by contacts that his cooperation with the team was being interpreted by the Nawaz Sharif government as an attempt to destabilize it, and that officials were planning Sethi's arrest. On May 8, he was taken from his home by personnel of Punjab police. According to Sethi's wife Musin, at least 8 armed officers broke into the house, assaulting the family's security guards. When asked to produce a warrant, one of them threatened simply to shoot Sethi on the spot. Musin was tied up and left locked in another room. Sethi was then held for almost a month without charge. He was kept incommunicado at a detention center in Lahore. Amnesty International stated its belief that his arrest was connected with his investigations into government corruption, and designated him a prisoner of conscience. The US-based Committee to Protect Journalists also sent a protest letter to Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, noting the organization's dismay that the state continues its persecution of independent journalists, and World Bank President James Wolfensohn called Sharif to urge Sethi's release. On June 1, authorities charged Sethi with condemnation of the creation of the state and advocacy of abolition of its sovereignty, and promoting enmity between different groups, and transferred him to police custody. However, the following day, the Supreme Court of Pakistan ruled that the government had provided insufficient evidence to justify Sethi's detention. He was released, and the charges against him were dropped. My Feudal Lord. In June 1991, Muhsin and Sethi's publishing company, Vanguard Books, released Shamina Durrani's My Feudal Lord, a politically explosive book about her marriage with leading politician Mustafa Kar. In the book, Durrani alleges that Kar mistreated and abused her. It was an instant sensation, and later became the hottest book in Pakistan's history. Durrani signed a contract vesting foreign rights with Muhsin and giving her 50% of foreign royalties. On May 19, 1999, however, during Sethi's one-month incommunicado detention, Durrani called a press conference to denounce him as having stolen all of her earnings from the book, stating that his actions were an even bigger case of hypocrisy than my experience with the feudal system. Durrani sued Sethi for mental torture, and he countersued for defamation. An earlier dispute over the foreign rights had been settled out of court in 1992. A review of the contracts by the UK newspaper The Independent described Sethi as acting in good faith and described him and Muhsin as the injured party. Later activity: in 2008, when Sethi's newspapers ran a series of editorials opposing religious fundamentalism, the Taliban threatened him with death, causing him to live under constant guard. Sethi also received death threats in July 2008 for publishing an editorial cartoon showing Hassan, principal of a girls' school, encouraging young women in burqas to kidnap Chinese masseuses. The joke referred to Lal Masjid, the fundamentalist mosque at which her husband Abdul Aziz Ghazier was a cleric. The mosque had kidnapped 6 Chinese women that it accused of being prostitutes, leading to Ghazier's arrest. Personal life: Sethi is married to fellow journalist Jughnu Muhsin, the publisher of the Friday Times. The couple have 2 children, author Ali Sethi and journalist and actress Myra Sethi. Awards and recognition: in 1999, Sethi and Muhsin were both given the International Press Freedom Award of the US-based Committee to Protect Journalists, which recognizes journalists who show courage in defending press freedom despite facing attacks, threats, or imprisonment. 10 years later, he was awarded the 2009 Golden Pen of Freedom, the annual Press Freedom Prize of the World Association of Newspapers. Caretaker Chief Minister Punjab: Najam Sethi was appointed as the Caretaker Chief Minister Punjab on March 26, 2013, for the general elections 2013, which are scheduled to be held on May 11, 2013. His name was presented by PPP and the opposition, PML, and agreed on it. He then became the Chief Minister of Pakistan's province, Punjab. On June 6, 2013, he stepped down in favour of the newly elected Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz leader Shahbaz Sharif. Acting Chairman Pakistan Cricket Board: Prime Minister of Pakistan Nawaz Sharif appointed him as the acting chairman Pakistan Cricket Board after the Islamabad High Court had ordered the Inter-Provincial Committee, Government of Pakistan looking after the sports affairs in the country to appoint an interim chairman until the case is decided. Later on, a 2-member bench of Islamabad High Court ordered for the restoration of Zaka Ashraf as chairman PCB and Sethi left as acting chairman. He rewarded by PM Sharif for rigging 2013 election. This was a malicious allegation east by Imran Khan and PTI's political party supporters that was challenged by Najam Sethi in the High Court, but never defended, and the 2013 rigging allegation itself was dismissed by the Supreme Court of Pakistan earlier in 2015, from an ex-PTI supporter, a follower of interrelations and politics, and a believer and practitioner in the truth and fairness of financial statements and intel. Development news and reviews. References.